What do you like to do when you work out?
I like to do push-ups, pull-ups. Hold on. Oh, my battery's dying. Push-ups. Hold up. My battery's dying. Hold on.
We're talking to Atelston Fitzgerald Holder the First. This is the Buttered Sausage Hour, patreon.com/The Jeff Richards Show, and subscribe to YouTube channel The Jeff Richards Show. You can also join his
And this is where we find equilibrium in paradoxes, because paradoxes now when you have it's based on contradictory, but then the same contradiction now you something is established in this contradiction because the guy is removing his art. But the paradox is these two individuals, polar opposite end of the stick, they test each other with a passion, but yet their very existence, their very craft, their very livelihood is really contingent on each other. Because the guy don't clean the wall, the graffiti artists have nowhere to draw. And if the graffiti artists don't draw, the guy have nowhere to clean. So this is what we call
But you know that getting into it as a graffiti artist, you know that you are going to be painted over at some point. I mean, it's not like you're in your apartment painting something and you finish and somebody comes into your window and paints over it. And that's sort of the beauty of being an independent artist, because people can't light your art on fire. You know, it's your art. You can protect it. So
that's true.
But there's always.
And this is where we find equilibrium in paradoxes, because paradoxes now when you have it's based on contradictory, but then the same contradiction now something is established in this contradiction, which we call equilibrium. And I have a very particular song I play where I use this ring as a slide guitar. And I wrote it after a dog I fell in love with. I fell in love with this dog, and the dog died. And I wrote the song a few days later. It's called A Dog Called Friday. The dog name was Friday. And I used this ring on my finger to play the slide guitar.
So you're always ready to slide. Is that true? Because if it stays on there, but you're always ready to slide. So do you slide other things besides the guitar?
You need to be in jail with P. Diddy, you know. You need to be in there with Diddy.
I didn't get one word of that.
You make a lot of baby oil jokes. Listen, but
no, I don't. What I'm saying is a jacket like that has zippers for a reason, and what do you put in the different zippers?
Let me put another jacket, and it's growing is a gradual process, and you really have to eradicate all the outside noise and distraction, and have some sort of tunnel vision, and focus on what your goal is, your purpose is, you know. And once you find that, you have to lock it.
How do I feel about?
Then the same contradiction now, something is established in this contradiction, which we call equilibrium. Equilibrium is a balance between opposing forces.
Pretending that I'm a boxer.
Here's what. Let me give you a contemporary definition of a paradox. You have a graffiti artist, and you have the guy who cleans the wall. The guy who cleans the wall hates the graffiti artist because he has to clean the wall. The graffiti artist hate the guy who cleans the wall because the guy is removing his art. But the paradox is these two individuals, polar opposite end of the stick, they test each other with a passion, but yet their very existence, their very craft, their very livelihood is really contingent on each other. Because the guy don't clean the wall, the graffiti artists have nowhere to draw. And if the graffiti artists don't draw, the guy have nowhere to. You know, and you see the Professor Xavier and Magneto, but it's like the Martin Luther King, Malcolm X philosophy. Eye for an eye, Magneto, and I believe in non-violence, Martin Luther King with the arm. See, how you like this jacket?
I really like it.
In stuff like drawing, painting, art, music. Just again, you know, our state, our consciousness is something that we have to proactively take initiative to evolve ourselves.
It's so beautiful that I don't even want to stop you. This is almost 2 minutes, but
Okay. But the paradox is these two individuals, polar opposite end of the stick, they test each other with a passion. No, I don't see anything at all. I'm just admiring myself and enjoying your presence and being on the show with freaking Tony Stark himself, Iron Man. Right, it's a biological predisposition. And this is the same phenomenon we see with X-Men. You know,
racquetball, and you're just, well, okay, we didn't expect that. Is this your workout routine, or is this how you meet the opposite sex?
Here's what. Let me give you a contemporary definition of a paradox. You have a graffiti artist, and you're technologically inclined, but you're not intelligent, Tony Stark.
Okay, thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. Glad to have you on the show. No, you can come at me. No, seriously, I have the skin tone for it. I have the skin tone, and I have the elasticity in my nose from pretending that I'm a boxer.
Here's what. Let me give you a contemporary definition of a paradox. You have a graffiti artist.
Listen, I don't know what the only thing that I know is a byproduct of those ballpark franks.
Well,
they put. That's why I eat butter sausage. I love butter sausage.
Well, a byproduct. Let me explain. A byproduct is a. What did you just say? A butter sausage?
Byproduct. That means
I've done a lot of projects in LA. I did a lot of studio projects. I got invited to a lot of shows. Pasadena Media, primarily in LA, they had a lot of studio shows. So I got invited to do a lot of lectures on specifically subjects that I found intriguing. And so what I did was I published on my website a consolidation of a number of different subjects I lectured on, and also things I did on a personal level. So what my website is really based on is a consolidation of a number of different subjects where I discuss the physics. Our consciousness is something that we have to proactively take initiative.
This guy that bags groceries at the Ralph's down the street. This guy is.
I'll tell you what will cause that. Lysergic acid diethylamide, LSD, or psilocybin, mushroom, or dimethyltryptamine, the big term for DMT. You know, any sort of psychoactive substance that temporarily alters your state of mind really transcends you into a place. And this is what Einstein and Hendricks used to do a lot. They used to explore something called power hypnagogia. Power hypnagogia have two areas.
My favorite villain is this guy that bags groceries at the because I mean, you're not just the jacket. Let me ask you a philosophical question about something that's not philosophical.
Yeah.
Where do we go when we sleep?
Power hypnagogia have two areas. You have hypnopompic and hypnagogic hallucination. Hypnopompic hallucination occurs on the onset of sleep. Hypnagogic occurs on the offset. And what Einstein would do is he would doze off with an object in his hands. And as he's about to fall asleep, the object will drop and he will wake and remember his hallucination.